either tomorrow or the day after, we're actually going to be able to leave the dock and continue our journey north. It seems like a lot of the canals are now closed, not due to lockdown, but due to lack of water. I can't believe we're moving again after so long.
I'm not sure if I can go in here. I'll watch the depth.
I'm Maya and this is Aladino. In mid-November, we converted our 28-foot sailboat into a riverboat, and we started going north from the Mediterranean all the way to the North Sea. In front of us, we had 2,000 kilometers and 200 locks. Join us as we navigate river currents, discover incredible places, cruise through canals, wait out a global pandemic in the heart of France, and record the whole voyage with a new episode every Friday. This is North Through the Continent. We're going north through the continent. When we decided to tie up in Chalon-sur-Saône for winter break, we had no idea just how long we'd be staying here. Suddenly, instead of traveling north through the continent, we found ourselves having to fill out permission slips just to go buy groceries. And now, after almost 3 months at the dock, river travel was finally opening up again and soon would be allowed to leave Chalon and continue the voyage. But first, there was one more problem. Well, it's a bit of a funny situation we find ourselves in. Coming up the Rhone in November and December, as you all saw in our videos, was a huge challenge because of the really strong currents. And we didn't actually realize just how high the water levels in the river were until we came back to Chalon-sur-Saône. The river levels were still high. Then we got locked down here and we noticed, when we watched the river levels drop. They dropped by about 3 meters, which is a lot. And so now there's actually very little water. There's almost zero current at all in the Sound. And lockdown is finally lifted, and it seems like a lot of the canals are now closed, not due to lockdown, but due to lack of water. So at the beginning of this voyage, we had way too much water. Now we have way too little water, and we're trying to figure out which route we can take to get us up north. We were all along thinking to go through Belgium and into the Netherlands, but that might change now depending on what canals are open. So Aladino's been looking at the map. Let's see what he's found out.
It's not easy to find out information, but one canal is closed and opens mid-June, the 15th. Mm-hmm. That's one I wanted to take. The one that I would have preferred has no water, and it might not change until the end of the month, so the 30th of June. Mm-hmm. So that one is out of. The other one is the Rhône, same one we did already, coming down into the Mediterranean. That one is open. Water levels are a bit low. We should just about make it. They say minimum is 160, so it should be possible. The only one that seems open, and I haven't found more info, is Canal entre Champagne et Bourgogne, mm-hmm. which goes pretty much north. That is good, but there's so many other little canals up there that it requires much more research, because there is no point in going up here and then there is no more water level in the little ones. Yeah.
It was true. Compared to the raging currents of November and December, the river now looked more like a pond. And although that meant no more fighting against whirlpools, we just had to hope that we could find a route with enough water under the keel. But that was a problem for tomorrow. This evening, we were getting ready to say our goodbyes to Chalon-sur-Saône. How would you describe our time in Chalon, Amore?
It was actually a great place to be stuck in. Mm-hmm. We have this big dock next to us and the river, which mm-hmm. is not directly the Sound, but still it's pretty wide. Mm-hmm. and with trees on the other side. So yeah, we were actually submersed in nature. And as the leafage became green, we couldn't...
Foliage.
Oh.
But leafage is better.
And as the... I knew it's something like that. And as the foliage became green, we couldn't even see the houses on the other side anymore, and it seemed like, yeah, there's a bit of a forest over there.
Yeah.
On this side, it's very practical. There's huge shopping centers, and here, 5 minutes walk, you're in the downtown, so it was pretty cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's kind of funny. At the beginning of the lockdown, I kept picturing the moment when we'd finally be able to leave the dock again. But as time went on and we started to fall a little bit more in love with this place and just having a moment to watch all the little things unfold around us as the year progressed. For example, we watched the swans fight over who to mate with in the spring, and then that transitioned into little babies as the summer continued on, and we've gotten to know the local wildlife, the fish that come and knock on the bottom of our boat. You might have seen that in another one of our episodes. And it's been nice to watch one place slowly move through the seasons, because we don't do that as much. We travel constantly. So I think I can say with certainty that we made the most of the lockdown, and as the journey continues, of course, we'll be really happy to keep moving again and to keep exploring. But I don't feel like we're escaping from a negative place. Was it a nice evening?
Yes. Totally.
Wasn't it lovely?
Very much.
We have good friends in Chalon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yay. Je voudrais de soleil vert, des dentelles et des tillères, des photos de bord de mer dans mon jardin d'hiver. Je voudrais de la lumière comme en Nouvelle-Angleterre. Je veux changer d'atmosphère dans mon jardin d'hiver. Ta robe à fleurs sous la pluie d'un novembre, mes mains qui courent, je n'en peux de l'attendre. Les années passent, qui est loin l'âge tendre, nous ne peut nous entendre. We had grown somewhat attached to Chalon. It's a beautiful harbor, lined with trees, and we could hear birdsong constantly. Everything here had become so familiar, it was going to be strange to leave. We went to bed that night filled with anticipation, excitement, and just a tinge of sadness. The next morning, we would finally continue the journey. Qui est loin l'âge tendre, nous ne peut nous entendre.
I'm so nervous after 3 months, or actually more, because we had the winter break. Yeah, feels like you have to relearn everything again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel the same.
Because when you go day by day, you're practiced, and now it's like leaving the dock.
Yeah. We're going! I can't believe we're going!
Yes!
Isn't this crazy?
We are!
After so long! So after much deliberation, we have decided upon our route. We are going to go down the Rhine River. It's not our first choice because the Rhine is a very busy industrial river with a lot of shipping traffic, and I don't think it'll be, it won't be the small little canal cruise that we were maybe envisioning. However, there will be a small canal cruise in order to get to the Rhone. We have to go through the Rhine-Rhone Canal. It's this little canal which links the Rhine and the Rhone rivers. This canal is the one that we actually came down on our way from Switzerland to the Mediterranean 2 years ago, which is another reason why we didn't necessarily want to do the Rhine, because we've already gone through this canal and we wanted to see something new. But with so many canal closures and after having already lost so much time sitting here at the dock, we've decided it's the best course of action. The goal for the day was simply to get as far up the Saône River as we could. The Saône is still a relatively large river, so we didn't have to worry about water depth quite yet. We felt amazing. The moment we slipped away from the dock, I felt something come alive that I didn't even realize had been sleeping. In front of us, the Saône River stretched out like a wide open road. From here, we could go to Paris or Belgium or the Atlantic Ocean. The canals and rivers wound around the continent like an intricate board game, and we were finally playing once again.
All right, I guess it's time for a podcast again. Back to normal.
Back to normal.
What is abnormal, but that's fantastic, is our speed. We always keep talking about it, but yeah, 4.5 knots. That's one of the...
Sure better compared to the 0 of the past few months.
Exactly. That is one of the upsides of not being winter with a lot of current.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting back into the swing of things, and I thought I would just show you how we've set the boat up again. We sort of had to remember it ourselves. On the bow, we have a bow rope always ready on both sides, there and there, and it's actually just one rope that we split between the cleats. I don't know if you can see that. And so then of course it runs on the outside of the stanchions, and we have it looped around here, and same on the other side, so it's always ready for action. Over here, I have not coiled this one yet, so excuse the messiness, but we usually have one ready to go midships as well. I have to do this on both sides, actually. I haven't done it on this side yet. And then fenders. Now fenders in the canals, although it's generally sort of bad etiquette or it makes you look a bit silly if you've got your fenders out on the ocean, on the canals, everyone always has their fenders out. There's so many locks and so many times you need to tie up. You'd be going crazy if you were putting them in and out every time. So boats almost always have fenders down on the canals, just make sure they're not dragging into the water. And then, continuing on into the stern, we have stern ropes. And again, this is on the cleat here, and it's actually just one rope, again split between the cleat on either side. And then it goes around the outside. We have one looped over this winch, one looped over that winch. Again, because we're not sailing, we obviously don't need these winches for anything else, so they're just holding our stern ropes. So we're totally ready to pull into any lock or any pontoon or anything that comes along our way on both sides of the ship.
And we have 2 boat hooks, one for me, one for Maya.
Oh,
mine
that's
is
true.
right here.
Yeah.
I unclip it. This is just a safety not to lose it, and one is on the cabin top for whoever is up forward.
Yes. We were in the region of Bourgogne, a famous wine region, but the vineyards weren't often visible from the river. The river banks were gently sloping, beautiful summer houses appeared at times, and in other sections roaming cattle got to enjoy the prime real estate. But soon we started to see dark clouds appearing, and we knew that we were in for some weather. Whoa, did you hear that?
Yes, I saw it too. Oh, more is coming.
The temperature just dropped like crazy too. I'm gonna have to go put some more clothes on. What a difference, wow. Gusts picked up and the rain started blowing sideways. The temperature plummeted, and I had to readjust the camera for the darker light. But it passed quickly, and the rain let up just as we passed the small town of Gergy. And the good thing is that often after a storm there comes the most beautiful light. Despite the rain, this voyage was still off to a good start. I can't believe we're moving again after so long. We're moving again and it feels so good. The most difficult part about cruising in France is every hour or so you pass by another adorable town that just begs to be explored. But to stop at every single one of them means it would take several years rather than several months to do this journey. We continued on upriver, making good speed and in very good spirits. Okay, we're at a fork in the river and we're actually not sure which way to turn. So we're just figuring it out.
Yeah, because one is the Doubs, which actually turns into the Rhine-Rhone Canal, but I saw the entrance to the Rhine-Rhone Canal is further north following the other arm.
Well, maybe both could kind of work.
I have to have a look.
Or maybe
the other one stops.
Yeah, maybe the Doubs River stops being navigable at one point and we have to go take the canal before we enter the Doubs.
I mean, I don't think the Doubs looks navigable here. I think it's just this village.
Okay, so we have to continue up the Sound. Depth still wasn't an issue here, so we could focus entirely on the scenery around us rather than being glued to the depth sounder. After a lovely cruise through the forest, we arrived to our first lock of the day. We felt a bit out of practice, but it all went smoothly enough. We called ahead on the VHF and we were the only boat in the lock. It was now evening and the town of Seur lay ahead. We decided to tie up there for the night.
We came a lot further than I actually thought. For a day that started late, we still made about 50 kilometers and we are in Seur right now. I'm not sure if I can go in here. Maybe we can dock by the stairs here.
There's no sign saying you can't go in, and I mean there's no traffic.
Yeah, true. I'll watch the depth.
Yeah, watch the depth. That's a good idea.
2.8, but it should be good. We're kind of inside.
Yeah. It was a sleepy place, the streets more or less empty, but it had the undeniable charm of many ancient French villages. It was truly a pleasure to walk around a new place again, especially after the 2 months of needing to carry permission slips wherever we went. It did feel different from our previous adventures. We had to keep wide berths around the people we passed, instead of just nodding and saying a friendly bonjour. But we were happy to be here at all. In the coming days, there would be far more adventures to come. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up as that helps our channel grow, and subscribe to keep following along this adventure. A special thank you to our patrons who really do make these episodes possible. We wouldn't be able to keep doing these weekly episodes without the support of you guys, so thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And an extra special thank you to these folks who really go above and beyond to make sure that these episodes keep happening. We'll see you all next time.